If some of you might know, I already have a PhD in history and I had to go beneath everyone to start all over again. And if you're ready to do that, I think people will respect you and they will try to lift you up. They will try to be kind, to teach you. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I will be talking about marketing and what I have learned doing marketing job in the last 6 months. If you're new here, I am Onan. I am originally from India but living in Germany for the past 7 years. I have done a 9-month course, and after that I have been working in 2 different companies, one as an intern, and now I'm working as a customer marketing specialist. And I just want to tell you my experiences, and I hope that it helps somebody out there who is coming in this field or who's just starting a new job or is about to start a new job. Of course, learning in a course is amazing and you think, I have learned everything now, I'm a marketeer. But when you're about to do the real job, then it's a different level. I have learned in my course about branding, about competitor research, pivot tables, Google ads, Facebook ads, but when you're about to do the real thing, it's very challenging and it's very different. So I hope that this video will help you get through some of the problems or some of the challenges that you might have it along the way as you start as a marketeer. Keep watching. First of all, I want to request you, if you like this video, you can subscribe, like, or even comment. If you want me to do another video of it, then I am happy to do that. Do try to make video at least once in 10 days or once a week. So it would be great if you can show your support so that I can keep making this kind of videos. So the first one today I want to talk about is every brand has its own language, has its own style. So one of the biggest things that I have learned early on is that every brand has its own style, its own guideline, its own rules, and you have to really rigidly follow that. Be it fonts, be it colors, be it the tone of voice, the way they write a caption, or even emojis. You know, people are very particular, or the company or every company is very particular of that. So when you are new in the field or when you're just about to do that, you have to ask for the brand guidelines and you have to thoroughly read through them and you have to check the do's and don'ts of the guidelines. I've also made the mistake of just writing by my own, some interesting, mesmerizing captions, or even a little bit of the color. It looked the same, but mine looked a bit better, and I thought, okay, it can be, the tweak is good, but rule number 1 is that you shouldn't do that at all. You have to treat the brand guideline that they give you as a Bible. Okay, maybe that's too much, but you have to thoroughly go from A to Z about the guidelines. You shouldn't make a mistake. You should not do it because you should not use your own style because it just looks nicer, guys, because it doesn't work. Another thing no one really tells you about is the communication tools. These days, a lot of people work home office, and my job is only remote. So I used Slack for my previous internship, and now I'm using Microsoft Teams. It is not just a tool. It is not just tool for chatting, guys. You have to know that, right? I mean, there is a lot to learn in the Microsoft Teams because you can share files. You can also share, you can also give approvals, you can schedule meetings there, and everything happens there. I use it every day. So if you are new to a team, it's good to maybe also spend a bit of time trying to check for yourself what kind of a tool it is, what you can do, some basics. There are a lot of information in YouTube these days to avoid at least some minor confusion. For me, I'm just lucky that my employer just educates me whenever I have some doubts and problems, and I think I'm getting better at it every day. You might end up doing graphic designing, guys. I'm gonna warn you this. I also see a lot in LinkedIn posts where the marketeers complain about also being a graphic designer, also being something else more than just that. But of course, this is real because it really surprised me myself, guys, because when I thought that I was just going to be a marketeer, well, marketeer is also just very general, but I thought graphic designing was not something that I have to do by myself, but I ended up doing that, and I think that is most of the work that I do. So you have to, guys, be aware of that, especially if you're working in smaller companies, or if you're just starting, then you will be given a lot of tasks to do, and one thing would be the designing. I used a bit of Adobe in my internship, but then I switched to Canva because I also learned a bit of Canva in my course, and now in my current job I use Canva Pro. It's amazing. It's not just only for beginners. I think it's also for intermediate people or people who have no in-house designer team. It is amazing. I've also gained recently 2 Canva certificates. I don't know if it is also for just Canva or Canva Pro, but it's just good because I already know the basics of it, but I realized that doing the course that there were also some things that I didn't know about, so doing that course also helped a lot. And I think if you're just starting, then Canva is an amazing tool that you can start with. So I just want to say that basic design skills are a must, especially if you are a junior, if you're starting out, if you're working in a small team where everyone has to do a little bit of everything. And I feel like now I have become a little bit of a graphic designer, but I have to get a lot better. But I'm just very amused and amazed by what you can do with Canva tools, and I also use that for my YouTube thumbnails, and I'm learning and getting better every day. You just have to be motivated to learn. The next is, since LinkedIn is becoming huge, especially when it comes to B2B, I am doing that myself. Back then I did not know LinkedIn ads because in my course we were taught Google ads, which I've also used it myself for my own small business. I also learned Facebook ads in the course itself, but I have never touched LinkedIn ads before. But now that I'm working for B2B companies, LinkedIn has become my playground. So as I said, now as my clients are in B2B, I have now learned how to make LinkedIn ads, how to run a campaign, how to target audience and industry. And the best thing is that when it's done, you can export everything and put it in the Excel, and then you can work on further with it. And of course, it doesn't just come on its own. You need a little bit of practice. You need to invest a bit of your time, let's say, but it does get better the more you use it. And if you are confused, you can always check YouTube channels. I did it myself, or also just read some blogs, and it helped me a lot, and everyone can do this. So speaking about Excel, I'm sure you know, guys, but you need to have at least some basic Excel. I learned that in my course again, and I use it every day for planning the social media content with my client, with my performer, to also target our ad performances, also reporting and everything. I have to use that, especially if you're working with performance data. I guess you will need that even more. And what I found it more important was that to learn the pivot tables. I learned that bit on the course, but I learned it more myself when I had to work for the clients and I had to give the results from the LinkedIn ads. So the LinkedIn ads will give you the files to export, the Excel files, and after you export the Excel files, you have to know how to use pivot tables, because it makes things much easier, because in the pivot table you can just filter out the things that you think your client might need it, and then only give those as reports. So I did learn Excel, of course, I told you, but what I did was also I learned additionally by paying under $20 in Udemy, and it helped me a bit. But I think in the end, pivot table was what I learned it by myself, by just doing it on the job. And I also did that by checking a lot of YouTube tutorials and also reading a lot of blogs and tips. As Alex Hormozy has said, I listen to him a lot, that you just need to invest on your skills, and that is the best investment. Nobody can take that away. So if you're investing yourself on the skills like I did, like for Excel or for the courses, then it's something that you can always keep. So keep investing and learn new skills every time you think that you have to go further with your career. Now the next thing, and maybe the last one, would be AI tools like ChatGPT. I cannot live with ChatGPT because I have to work with in English and as well as in German, and to check the spellings, because when it comes to writing content and posting it, people are very particular, and obviously it has to be like that. And I check them in AI tools like ChatGPT, and sometimes and even then it gets wrong. So you cannot rely 100% on AI. You have to know German to even know that ChatGPT is doing something right or wrong, right? But even then, you might be wrong. But it's just good to use this kind of AI tools these days. It saves a lot of time. It's just also good for brainstorming, maybe to give you a heads up or to give you a start. So that from there on you can build on with your own ideas, because in the end, to have a human touch is much better. Most of the content ideas, I bring it myself, or I check the competitors and then I try to see what is good for my clients. But ChatGPT is something that I cannot avoid, obviously, and it also helps me a lot for my own channel as well, to write me video descriptions or thumbnail ideas, etc. But it's just good to invest on that. My company uses that as well, and we also have Sora, because you have to, I think, pay for that. But I still haven't used it for my clients. But I do tried to generate videos and images, and it's quite interesting. You can study all you want, but this is my honest advice. If you don't work in a company, you will never understand the business. I thought when I finished my course and I was already, doing my YouTube channel, I thought, oh, I know this business, I can do it. But when it comes to real business, working with real people, then it's very challenging. You will make mistakes. I did. You will get scolded, but don't take it personally. And it's just a good way to grow from it. I think you just have to be patient. Marketing is so fast paced, guys, and people really expect results. The clients want you to do this, do that. You also have to be creative, and it has to be fulfilling, else I think it doesn't make sense to be a marketeer. Since I work in Germany, I also want to add this. My clients, my employers are very polite, but they are also very, very precise. And I just like it, the precision, deadlines, formatting, even like a small line here or a small comma, just everything. And since I am not a native German, it's sometimes very challenging, but I see that as a challenge. I see that this is how I'm going to grow. This is how I'm going to be a better marketeer, a better businesswoman in the future, how I'm going to be a better communicator. And also, it's just, I think, just stay curious. I think that is the best way to go. Just stay motivated, because you will learn a lot. You will see a lot of mistakes. You'll come across a lot of mistakes. I did a lot of mistakes already in the last few months, but I've also learned a lot, and I've also only seen that as something that I am getting better at it. And every time they tell you to do this differently, I already learned something. So if you have a mindset like that, I think everyone can grow in this business world. So guys, these are my takeaways from my working in a real life company in the last 6 months. And the biggest lesson I've learned is that you really learn by just doing it. And so if you take a course, after that you have to directly work in a real business, else it's just very different. So if you're just starting out, just be humble. If some of you might know, I already have a PhD in history, and I had to go beneath everyone to start all over again. And if you're ready to do that, I think people will respect you, and they will try to lift you up. They will try to be kind, to teach you. And also because here Germans are, as I told you, very polite. You have to respect their way of working, but it does get better. And I'm just glad that I'm surrounded by people who wants to push me to do better, to be better in designing, for example, to be better in writing, to be, more precise. And I think everything helps me, and I hope that it helps you as well. So just wanted to say that from design to communication, you'll learn everything on the job, but it's also just good, as I said, to before starting the job to check on the YouTube like what you might be expected of. And so these are the tips. I hope it helped. Thank you guys for watching, and if you like it, then I'll make more videos of this. So keep watching, subscribe, like, comment, whatever you want me to make it next time, and I'll see you guys soon. Ciao.